So you spend a lot of time dreaming. You dream about showing up in front of your ideal audience, showing up on camera, sharing your message with your ideal customer, building your customer base, your clientele, and earning more money. But you keep telling yourself, I am not ready. So instead, you spend just as much time or more feeling sad, full of regret, feeling pain inside, wondering, why can't I move on from this space? And you watch other people show up every day, promote their business, earn clients, which you would love to do, and earn more money. But I am here to tell you, waiting until you're ready is a sure way to kill your progress. It is. However, I'm going to share a story with you. And that story will show you that you need to leap before you are ready, and taking a leap before you feel ready can and will lead to success. Stay with me, ladies. So some years ago, one evening, I was having a conversation with a lady named Alexandra. Now, Alexandra, she was happy, but there was this vague look of confusion on her face. All right. So I asked her what was going on. She was giving me the story of her making a presentation at church. It was a really big presentation for her because she has shown up before, but in a group setting. So singing, dancing, whatever it was in a group setting. But this particular project was solo. So she was telling me, well, it went pretty okay. I'm like, but that's great. She's like, yes, I did it. I was like, that is fantastic, but I don't understand that little look of confusion that you have. I'm not sure what that is. Can you explain that to me? So she was saying, well, I was kind of surprised. I said, you were surprised? But at what? You said it went pretty okay. She said, well, when I finished reading my piece, there was so much applause and I got so many compliments about my piece and how well I did. But it wasn't perfect. I made some mistakes. And I was like, okay, so you made mistakes? He said, yeah, so that's what has me surprised. That I made mistakes and I still got the response that I got. It's amazing. It's just heartwarming. I said, well, congratulations. Celebrate it. She said, I definitely will. And I was very proud of Alexandra because she was my first client. Yeah, Alexandra was my first client. And that particular project she had, we had under 2 weeks to prepare for it. Alexandra was so nervous. She had this fear of failing because she said she didn't used to pronounce words quite properly. So that was a bit of an area of insecurity for her. And as I mentioned before, this was a solo venture. So I told Alexandra, look, we have less than 2 weeks. You're committed to doing this. There's no backing out. She said, absolutely not. However it turns out, I'm doing it. I said, good. So let's get to work. No panicking. What we're going to do is practice, practice, practice. We are going to practice the heck out of this piece together. All right? I am going to give you some guidance on your diction, but I want you to practice. One of the best ways for you to read this piece is to know it inside and out. So, yes, you may have the piece of paper with the poem printed on it, but when you're reading, that's just to enforce most of what is already in your head. It won't be anything completely new. It's just supporting you. So we dug in and we spent the next, I think it was about 10 days or something like that, practicing the heck out of that piece. And Alexandra did so well. Imperfectly, but she did well. Extremely nervous, but she did well. I got her to focus on completing the task, not having it being perfect. Okay? Not having it being perfect, just completing it and keeping her message as clear as possible. And if her message wasn't clear, she wouldn't have had that applause and all those compliments that she received at the end of her reading. Does this sound like a lesson coming, ladies? But of course it is. What if Alexandra decided, look, I'm not ready. My knees will be just rattling to pieces. I'll be stammering. I can't do this. And she didn't. She followed through and not did it. She would not have had that result. She would not have known that she could have done it. You need to leap while scared. Stop going in circles, reading articles, listening to podcasts, watching videos, taking in all this information, and you're still in a pool of stagnancy. You need to make a step forward and a step up if you are going to taste that success that you dream about every day. And it doesn't have to be anything complex to get you started. Even if you haven't started to set up your social media pages as yet or your YouTube page, that only takes a few minutes. You don't have to run off and do a whole set of long form videos. All you need to do is to start with one simple video. And I recommend you do what I call an introductory video, which is basically a short recording. It's a couple minutes. You introduce yourself, say what you do, why you do it, and for whom, and leave some contact information. Simple start. All you need to do is to start practicing. So that will go something like this. My name is Amanda. I am a therapist for dogs, small breed dogs with injuries. I have been doing this for 5 years and I love what I do. I grew up in a home of dog lovers, or should I say animal lovers. So it was kind of a natural progression for me. I absolutely love it every single day. You can reach me at XYZ123 and we can have a chat about how I can help your pet. That's it. That's all you need to do to make a start. Just make a start. Okay? And if you need some details and some help on creating that introductory video, I want you to watch this video next, and this will help you get started creating that video. All right? So ladies, your homework is to do. Stop learning and do. It is time to take action. Let's get it.